Well, Brody, my man, I'm excited to announce that Brody's with us today. I threw an event this last fall, and I actually threw together a trunk or treat. It was designed for kind of off-road enthusiasts, car guys. We really tried to show some fun for both sides, right? The parents and the kids who were involved. And as a first year, I was pretty amped about it, but I was really excited because Brody and a few of his buddies came out with us, and so as kind of a thank you, as well as kind of get a chance to actually sit down and talk to Brody, get to know him for who he is. I know he's got a little bit of weight in the Jeep community here in Utah, and I think that's really rad. So I'm just stoked. Brody, you care to introduce yourself? Kind of tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
So I'm Brody, and I've always been helping the Utah community with anything that's going on. The vehicle that I have is a 2011 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon. When I first got it, my daughter called it Snow Jeep. I was
Nice.
like, hell yeah, let's just do that. Let's name it Snow Jeep. And most of the Utah Jeep crew that I'm in, I try to reach out to them to help the community and like support the homeless teen shelters and breast cancers and all that kind of stuff. I usually try to do more of more off-roading too, explore more Utah. And
Yeah.
this last big one that I hope me and my buddy Jake hosted was 5 Mile. Man, that was the longest day of my life. Like, that was straight 14, 15 hours of just off-roading.
Really? That's pretty rad.
Yeah, that was just
a lot.
nuts. So we hit like 5 different trails. We hit the train tunnel, kind of down south, and then we hit Little Moab, and
Nice.
that was tricky because of the weather. It was raining, it was cold, but man, at the end of it, I gotta say maybe 2-3 Jeeps out of 9 Jeeps that joined us, we were all covered in mud. Like,
Heck yeah.
nobody else would touch the mud puddles, or they'll just go through it slow, and it's just like,
It's
come
kind
on,
of
let's just go have fun. That's the point of coming out and
yeah.
do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm hoping 22 will be a lot better than last year.
Yeah.
Between the whole pandemic and all that kind of stuff, hopefully we could do more events this year and
Yeah.
get more people to join.
Yeah, definitely. I think I know I was actually bummed. I know kind of the charities you talked about with some of the homeless teens and stuff. I actually wasn't able to make them due to some medical stuff I had going on, trying to figure out exactly what I had. Kind of a really, since the trunk or treat, it was sort of funny. I dislocated some ribs. I got COVID in there. I broke an arm, and between that and work and everything, found out some branding issues that we had with what we're trying to do. It really kind of shook everything up, and so I was pretty bummed that I missed out on that. I had some plans to do some cool stuff myself with some branding, but I really love that aspect that you take the time to do both, though. I mean, I think it's really important that I don't think people really understand how much physical social distancing you can do from a Jeep, but you can actually do a lot. It's like if you
Exactly.
live with them, so you can go hit the trails just as easy with them as you can. You know what I mean? Just hanging out. So I think that is a good point. I hope myself too, with the pandemic and everything going on, I hope that everybody really who's in this sport and activity kind of takes that for what it is and says, hey, yeah, I can totally go play and make a fun time. And I think it's funny. Everybody's got their different strokes for different folks kind of idea, right? It's like you're a mud guy, and then some of the guys you were out there with, they're like, we're not into it, or maybe we're not that ready.
Exactly.
And it really kind of takes takes into consideration, what people really appreciate. It's like, I think it's cool either way, because I know a lot of my buddies who are like, oh man, I'm gonna avoid that mud puddle. They're kind of out there more for the scenery. It's like the scenic view that the off-highway road, the road less traveled, can actually show you. I actually haven't had the privilege of seeing the train tunnel, and I haven't been to Little Moab in forever. I don't know. Corbin,
I haven't been to either of those. I've heard a lot about 5 Mile, and I'd really like to go.
It is a fun place to be because there's just so many trails out there that you can explore. Because there's maybe more than 10 trails out there that you can explore. And they're all connected to the center. And each trail is more challenging. I can say that.
Yeah.
Last year back in March, me and my buddy Corey went out there. And of course, my dumb idea decided to go out there in 3 feet of snow, and there's a trail, I could not remember what the name was, but they had 4 feet drop rocks, stairs. And I'm like, I'm not chancing that.
In 3 feet of snow?
Do they?
Yeah, because of the snow. It was.
They call that the staircase. Is that where that's at?
Yeah, in 5 Mile. Yep.
Okay, cool.
And they have spots where you can hook a winch to, where you can actually climb up it.
Yeah.
But you can try to climb down it, but in a stock Jeep or whatever, you're most likely gonna roll just because of how deep they are.
Gotcha.
But and I was like, nah, I'm not chancing it. So we turned around and we had a guy from Utah Jeep family joined up with us. It was just 2 of us, and man, we were stuck for 3 hours.
Dang,
I'm like,
man,
crap,
that's crazy. Yeah.
But I think the funniest thing about that was my buddy trying to come down the hill with chains and stuff.
Yeah.
And he biffed it. He biffed it so hard. It was not even 0.02 seconds he was already on the ground.
Wow.
And yeah, it was just, he ended up going to the hospital next day to get checked.
That'll probably lead us right into our next question. So speaking of that, we all have those stories. It's like, do you have a nightmare story? Something that you just totally worst chaotic experience out on the trail? Have you run into that?
The worst nightmare was on Hell's Revenge in Moab.
Okay.
Because especially when it stormed the night before and all the rocks and everything was wet.
Yeah.
And just going on that, you're slipping everywhere.
Yeah.
Right on the beginning of the Hell's Revenge, there is a cone mountain rock where it's almost the same size as your Jeep. And
Wow.
you're just sketched out. If you hit a wet spot, you're going down kind of thing. That was my worst fear, was hitting wet spots and sliding everywhere. But
So was it wet spot on the side of a cliff? You're just going to slide off and roll?
Exactly.
That's scary.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife hated that trail. She absolutely hated it. After we passed that part, she's like, let me get out for a minute and get some air. And, man, she was
had to
just
breathe through it. Huh?
She's like, turn around. I'm like, I'm not turning around. But,
That's-
I was like, yeah, we'll just continue this. But, I mean, that trail it is challenging, but it is the gorgeous place to go on to as well.
Yeah, of course.
And my goal is to go on to Top of the World.
Yeah.
There's a trail there that I want to hit, and that's just, a lot of people love it.
Yeah, that Top of the World trail, I actually haven't been on it, but I went on one near it, Dome Plateau, and that was actually just amazing. I was down there my first time as an adult this year, and it gave me a whole new respect. I mean, I've driven through it a couple times on my way to Lake Powell and some other things, but the canyons outside of Main Street Moab, I never really explored that, and I got a dirt bike, that Dome Plateau trail this year, with some really good friends of mine, and they had a Jeep crew with them, and we were on dirt bikes, so they're like, yeah, you go ahead. And that trail actually had some really pretty good staircase style drops in it as well. course, I'm a kid, you know, third, fifth, like fourth gear pinned on a dirt bike and come across that like a mountain biker. And I'm like, whoo, there's a riverbed right there at the bottom of that. It's like 15 feet away, you know. But no, yeah, that Moab country to me it's gorgeous. Corbin, have you spent much time down there?
So yeah, I've been to Moab a few times. I did Slick Rock, and I love it. It's harder on a bike. Like,
yeah, it is.
It is exhausting. You destroy your tires, and I mean, it's cool though. It's like you're on another planet almost.
Yeah,
it's super cool terrain.
Yeah.
Brody, is there some destinations that maybe you haven't been that in Utah that you'd love to go explore?
Most of them are in Moab, like Steelbender and Top of the World. There's a few more that I can't remember the names of.
Yeah.
But I was only able to do 2 or 3 in Moab last year.
Yeah.
'Cause we had a short period of time, but it was on our anniversary.
Oh,
So
nice.
I was like, all right, let's just go down there. But yeah, there, and been trying to talk Jake into going to Black Bear Pass in Colorado.
Oh, there you go. There you
wanna-
go. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, and that's great. You know, I love that. I'd love to see.
Yeah, sorry, we can edit that.
Oh,
I just pulled the mic
pause.
down
My
just a
bad.
little bit. You're good.
My
just
bad.
keep going.
Yeah, I would love to. That's one I think it'd be really cool too. I haven't done a ton of homework, but I've seen a couple YouTube videos, and it was just kind of like, wow, that's in something else, you know. Like my buddies, they make a trip out to the Rubicon, which I think would be also pretty rad. You'd have to be pretty set up for that, but
Oh yeah.
but no, I hope you make it there, man. Hopefully we can hear some more on that if that ever
Oh, yeah.
happens. Well, let's see, Brody, what's one reason that you could find yourself always looking for an adventure?
Because I always like to find something new and something challenging. Because I like to be more adventurous, because I'm not that kind of person that likes to sit down and,
Yeah,
like, but it's just life where you find something new and you want to take that chance because it's challenging.
Yeah.
And you don't know where it's going to take you in life, especially too.
Yeah.
Because you're not, if you don't take it, you don't know what's going to be there.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I've always told myself. Life is like a trail. You don't know what kind of trail it is unless you take it. It's basically,
boy, that's well said. That is well said.
especially, it's just basically the same way. You don't know what it is until you take it.
Yeah.
And myself, I've always been adventurous. I've always hiked, I've always biked, I've always, and I would love to explore around the world more. I would love to go to New Mexico, because there's trails down there that I want to explore, and Colorado, and there's all kinds of places that I want to hit.
Of course, man. Yeah, I love that,
And
There's nothing better than talking to somebody who's got enough passion for that, and you can tell when they speak it.
mm-hmm.
Like me, I felt it, man. It hit me right in the heart, like right in the feel goods. I was like, man, I can relate to that. Like, there's so much life to live.
Exactly. And
outside your front door, whether it's a state away, a couple states away, like New Mexico. Even I spent some time down in Arizona, and I didn't get to explore much of any of it. I hiked around up there, but beautiful, like just amazing, I was like, wow, I would have never known this was here. Just small part of eastern Arizona, right on the border of New Mexico. Breathtaking, though. It was like, never in a million years, It's like I always thought that Arizona, like cactus and desert.
yeah.
Dude, there was pine trees and mountains and elk everywhere. I was like, that is just amazing to me. And but yeah, I can relate to that in a lot of ways, just how passionate, because I love the fact that you brought up earlier, and I'm going to kind of backtrack, circle around and catch that. But, that passion you share it with, obviously, your wife. You spent Moab in for your anniversary. Like, how cool is that you guys have that together? You both
Exactly.
go out, you take it with you, and I don't know. I'm not fortunate enough to be married or even have like a seriously date anybody. Though it's always kind of funny, but like it's almost like a couple's goal, you know, when you meet those couples that are like, yeah, this is what we do, we love it, and
Exactly.
you know, it's like, I'm actually taking my wife on a date later. Well, cool, man. Like that's an adventure in itself, which I think is sometimes can be way overlooked too, and I think it's rad. So, just how cool that passion is for you, and that ability to take all those memories and laughs and experiences with you together. I like just totally badass. I feel like Corbin can agree with this comment. You know, I think that's kind of the goal for some of us single guys around. You know, it's like
Absolutely.
how much fun can you make out of this thing we call life with somebody awesome doing stuff just like you're saying. So
you see, and now my daughter, she's always complaining she wants to go to Moab now. You know, after we show her all the pictures, and she loves the Utah Arch.
Yeah.
She just absolutely loves those. And I'm like, maybe this year we'll take you down there.
Take a trip
you know,
on down, yeah.
We'll check it all out and do the same thing what we did last year, and I'm hoping maybe my son, maybe.
Yeah.
He's only a year old, but every time
Oh.
he's outside, he always runs to the Jeep, like, let's go, kind of thing, you know. And
Yeah.
because he's been off-roading a few times, he enjoys it, you know. And he took a few naps the whole time, which is nice, but
You know what, man? Can I chime in on this? This is a whole podcast in itself. I'm telling you. So this is me, right? It was funny. I got my siblings. They'd pick on me because I was pretty young, but I was your kid, right? They would wheel till I fell asleep, man, and then I'd wake up and I'd still want to be going, you know. In the next few years, you're gonna see some real depth to how much that's meant to him. I feel like, for me anyway, I'm a firm advocate in, you know, take them with you. I could fill probably an hour on this subject alone just because I've got a 12-year-old niece, and I've had the real privilege to take her. She's actually my adventure buddy. She's always ready to go. She loves to snowboard. She loves to ski. She loves to wakeboard. This is going to sound like a really bad parenting tip, but she bruised her hip in a ski accident, and like 3 weeks later she was on crutches, and she's like, I'm going with you. Like, I don't care. And there was no telling her no. She was there for it. She just put her in the side-by-side. That's kind of where we were at. We were out at the dunes. And she was there for the whole thing, and she just loved it. She loved the experience and the time spent. And I feel like so much of that, you know, it kind of develops who we are. It gives us that look for something greater especially when we're that young, you know. If we as adults can share that passion with them, it's just something to connect them. And I don't want to spend too much time on that, but I definitely agree, man. And I think, you know, kudos to you to making sure that you involve them in that, because just like you're building those experiences with your wife and your friends, you know, your kids are going to respect you and love you that much more for sharing that time with them. At least I'm a firm believer in that. Corbin, do you have anything to pitch in there?
I definitely agree. I think I'm starting to notice a trend. We've only had, 3 people now that we've talked to on this, but it seems like there's a pretty consistent across the board. Everyone started pretty young. Everyone's kind of the same. Can't sit still. Works really hard sometimes. And I don't know. Absolutely. I think that's what it's about.
Definitely. But yeah, man. So I'm excited. You know, I think that's cool. And maybe now that you've brought that up, because I've been toying with this idea, and maybe we'll bring this to light. Maybe as summer comes around or something, when the kids don't have school and everything going on. But maybe that's something we could do. You know, just involve the kids a little bit, let them share their perspective. I think that'd be kind of fun and something to look forward to.
Oh yeah.
So maybe we'll take that into account and see if we can get their take. You know, see if we can get some short clips.
Oh yeah, my daughter would definitely go on. She would just talk about it all day, you know, and even like almost every weekend. It's like, can we go to the mountains? Can we go to the mountains? well, not this weekend, you know.
But I tell you what, it's sure hard telling them no because it's like I want to be there just as bad, but adult priorities might get in the way sometimes of that. And yeah, I love it. I have so much respect for that, and so kudos to you guys. You and your wife and sharing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish my wife would have been here, but
well, you know what, brother, this is the first of many,
yeah.
so I'm sure we can work that out. I'd be more than happy to have you guys back. I know you made a comment to me that you got some big things coming this summer, which will be fun. So maybe when that gets a little closer, we'll shed some light on that and what you guys are looking to
definitely.
do. And see how we can support you in that.
I can definitely keep you updated on that. And I got the Jeep camp out coming up July.
Yeah.
For 4 days. So maybe the first day and a half we'll probably do some trail runs, and then the rest of the time we'll probably do more like horseshoes and do some raffles and do that kind of stuff. Just gather around and do whatever. And
good people doing what they love to do, man. I love it. Yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think maybe we should look forward to that. We'll look at circling back around, and especially as events get closer, we can see what we can do, spread that word out and help you and help us and just go have a great time. We can see, I don't know if he's going to keep it. I know Corbin's got a pretty rowdy little samurai. I don't know if the Jeep guys will.
Yeah, I might get exiled. It's the nonconformist Jeep,
But hey, they're rad, dude. I mean, they're something else. So I don't know. I'm the type, like, I respect them all. I was raised in Broncos, so I'm a big Ford guy.
I'd rather have a Bronco too.
But you know what? I used to talk mad about those Samurais, and they'll surprise you if you're not.
They tear it up if you're brave enough to drive them.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're in for, those Samurais, if you got a good driver behind them, they can sure walk into some pretty gnarly stuff. So it's pretty fun. But maybe we can go up there and shake up the Jeep guys a little bit, just rub shoulders, what we do best, So that'd be fun.
Oh yeah.
So well, cool, Brody. Corbin, thank you guys for being here today. I want to, I don't know, I'm guessing we're probably about wrapped up on time.
23 minutes.
Perfect. But yeah, Brody, thanks so much for jumping on with us. Like I said, I'm sure we'll see you back again with some more plans. And I appreciate you guys for being here. And have a rocking day, man.